What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today we're doing the budget build for Blue Eyes White Destiny. Blue Eyes just got an insane new structure deck that gives us all sorts of insane new support that's actually going to make Blue Eyes White Dragon meta. And I'm so excited for this deck because we're just using 3 of the new Blue Eyes White Destiny structure decks to actually build this deck. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, become part of our notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes White Dragon is such a nostalgic card, and it's so amazing to finally see some insane support for this card because this deck is going to be absolutely crazy with all the new support cards we just got out of Blue Eyes White Destiny. But I feel like in the pure version, you really need to play 3 copies of this card to help you go in because this card is an amazing combo piece. We then play 3 copies of Neo Kaiser Seahorse. This card is super cool as a 3-of in this build because this card has the ability if you control a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can also target a light tuner you control and increase or decrease its level by 1, helping you go in for the new Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. This card also has the ability that if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can actually send a Blue Eyes monster or one monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to the graveyard except another copy of this card, which is a really cool ability that you can basically use this card as an extender, but also this card is a dragon monster, meaning you can use it as a link material for the new Blue Eyes Link monster. We then play 3 copies of Maiden of White. Maiden of White is such a powerful card to help us go in for Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. And this card has the ability that you can actually send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to place a copy of True Light from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone, which is a crazy power effect to instantly get to your copy of True Light. This card also has the ability that if you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card's in the graveyard, you can actually special summon this card to instantly get it back on your side of the field so you can go for a copy of a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Also, when a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect, you can actually special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a light level 1 tuner monster from your graveyard, which is a great ability to instantly get another tuner on your side of the field or a Blue Eyes White Dragon to keep going for your combos. We then play 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. Sage with Eyes of Blue is one of the most powerful normal summons in the entire deck. Is when this card is normal summon, you can actually add a level 1 light tuner monster from your deck to your hand, meaning this card can actually search out your copy of Maiden directly from your deck to your hand, so you can send it to the graveyard and get to a copy of True Light, which is so powerful. Also, this card has the ability that you can discard this card and target an effect monster that you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck, which is awesome to instantly get the exact Blue Eyes monster you want on your side of the field. We then played 2 copies of Dictator of D. Dictator of D is great as a 2-0 in the build just to be able to use as an extender that while you control a Blue Eyes monster, you get to choose the attack targets for your opponent's monster's attacks, and also it has the effect that you can send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand, and you can also discard a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a card that mentions it to target a Blue Eyes monster in the graveyard and special summon it, instantly getting your monster back on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of the White Stone of Ancients. I feel like 1 copy is really all you need for this budget build, and it's a really cool card in the deck because it lets you once per turn during the end phase if it's in the graveyard, because if it's sent there this turn, you can actually special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck to instantly get something out on your side of the field, which is such a powerful effect. Plus, it's a light level 1 tuner monster, so you can use it for a lot of combos in this build. We then play a single copy of Jet Dragon. Jet Dragon is just too cool not to play as a 1-of, and this card is really amazing to basically protect your other cards and also to bring it back to your side of the field. It's an amazing boss monster in the deck, and I really love this card as a 1-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Alternative White Dragon. Alternative White Dragon is great in this particular build, because it cannot be normal summoned or set. You have to reveal Blue Eyes in your hand to special summon this card from your hand to your side of the field. Its name becomes Blue Eyes White Dragon while it's on the field in the graveyard, and once per turn, you can actually target one monster that your opponent controls and destroy it, but it cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. We play a single copy of Abyss Dragon. Abyss Dragon is great in this build as a one-of as well, as this card actually helps us search out a copy of Chaos Max and a copy of Chaos Form, which is amazing to be able to do, as you can instantly get to your copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max, which we do play as a one-of in this particular build, and this card is crazy powerful because it does double piercing damage. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom, because Ash Blossom was actually included in the structure deck, which is so cool. 3 copies of Effect Veiler, because Effect Veiler was also included in this structure deck, which is insane. And then 2 copies of Nibiru. Nibiru is really good in this deck, and it's very easy to out, but I feel like 2 copies is really all you need for this build. And it basically just cracks your opponent's board, which is amazing. This card is so good in the deck, but I feel like 2 copies in this particular build is totally fine, because we're also playing Imperm in this deck, because the Blue Eyes White Destiny structure deck is one of the best structure decks ever created, because of the amount of hand traps that it has, and because it gives us support for Blue Eyes that makes it meta. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is an amazing one in the deck that basically just stops your opponent from hand trapping you where you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Mausoleum of White. Mausoleum of White is searchable off the new Link 1, which is really cool because this card has the ability that during the main phase, you actually can normal summon 1 light level 1 tuner monster in addition to your normal summoner set, and also you can target a face-up monster you control and then send a normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, which is always going to be Blue Eyes White Dragon, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack and defense equal to the level of the monster sent times 100 until the end of the turn, but it doesn't really matter about the attack gain. You're basically worried about sending a copy of Blue Eyes to the graveyard so you can bring it back to your side of the field with the effect of True Light or any of your other cards. But this card is amazing in the deck as a one-of because it is searchable off the effect of your copy of your new Blue Eyes Link 1. We then play a single copy of Chaos Form. Chaos Form is great in the deck as a one-of because this card does basically ritual summon out our copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max. We then play a single copy of Ultimate Fusion. Ultimate Fusion is crazy powerful in the deck as a one-of, but you only need a single copy of it because it's so easy to get to in this build. But this card helps us summon out some awesome fusion monsters by basically recycling our Blue Eyes. We then play 2 copies of Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. This card is crazy powerful as a 2-of in the deck, and it's basically E-Telly for Blue Eyes. And lets you special summon in defense position a Blue Eyes monster from your deck, graveyard, or banishment. But if you do not control a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can only special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon with this effect. Also, you cannot special summon the X deck for the rest of the turn except dragon monsters, and you can also banish this card in the graveyard to fusion summon a fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field, including a Blue Eyes monster, which is a crazy powerful effect, and actually why I only play a single copy of Ultimate Fusion, because this card is basically a fusion spell to help us make all sorts of cool plays in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Wishes for Eyes of Blue. This card is so cool because this is actually directly out of the Animation Chronicles, which is so cool to actually see this card turned in from a scene in a basically YouTube video into an actual card. It looks so good too. It lets you discard a card to add a level 1 light tuner and a speller trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, and also banish this card in the graveyard, and then target a Blue Eyes White Dragon you control, and equip a Blue Eyes monster from your X deck to it as an equip spell that gives it 400 attack points, which is a really cool effect. But this card is such a powerful card in the deck, as this card is basically full combo in this build. It just helps you basically get the exact cards that you need, like a copy of Sage or a copy of Maiden, depending on what your hand is, and it's just a really cool card overall. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Majesty of the White Dragons. This card is amazing for its artwork. This card actually helps you pop up to 3 cards, which is absolutely insane. You show up to 3 of your Blue Eyes White Dragons in your hand, facing the monster zone and or graveyard, and destroy an equal number of cards your opponent controls. And you can also banish this card in the graveyard to be able to ritual summon a ritual monster from your hand by attributing Blue Eyes White Dragons from your hand or field whose total levels equal the level of that monster. Basically, your copy of Chaos Max, which is insane. But this card is searchable, which is why we just play a single copy, and it's insanely powerful in this build. We then play a single copy of True Light. True Light is searchable off your copy of Maiden, which will actually just instantly place it on your side of the field. But this card is important as a 1-of in the deck. It either lets you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or grave, or set a spell or trap from your deck that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon with a different name from cards you control and in your graveyard. And also your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone with card effects. But if this face of card is sent to the graveyard, you destroy all monsters that you control, which is the only downside to this card, but it's amazing to help you swarm the board with Blue Eyes White Dragon. We then also play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is definitely a 3-of in the build to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. It's insane the amount of hand traps that they actually have given us in this structure deck, because you have Ash, Imperm, Nibiru, and Infinite Impermanence to basically just stop your opponent. So in this structure deck, it's a budget basically build for this that we're just using 3 of the structure decks. You have 11 hand traps in this particular build, and it's insane how powerful it is right out of the box. So let's go ahead and get into the extract, guys, because that's it for the main deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with 2 copies of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. This card is an amazing 2-of in the build that has the effect that your opponent cannot banish cards from your graveyard, which is basically going to turn off all of your opponent's bestial monsters that they're playing because they can't banish cards to summon it. This card also has the ability that when your opponent activates a card on the field, you can quick effect negate the activation, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack points, pushing this card up to 4,500, which is a crazy powerful effect to basically just boost this card up so you can go in for game. Also, if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can actually special summon a light dragon monster from your graveyard, except another copy of this card, which is a great effect because if you do tag into this card using your copy of Spirit Dragon, you'll basically get some value out of it when it does get destroyed. But this card is such a powerful card because it's a walking negate, and it's so easy to make in this build because we do play the cards to be able to make this card extremely easily, because it does require 2 tuners plus a non-tuner Blue Eyes monster. So you can basically use your copy of Neo Kaiser Seahorse's effect to reduce its level to 3, and then use a copy of Maiden plus Blue Eyes to hard make this card, or you can tag into it with one of our 3 copies of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon is really cool as a 3-of, as neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time, and also once per turn, when an effect of a card in the graveyard is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation. In quick effect, you can actually tribute the synchro summoned card and then special summon 1 light dragon synchro monster from your extract and defense position, except another copy of this card, but destroyed during the end phase of this turn, which is a great effect to be able to use to instantly bring back a card to your side of the field, and it's a really cool effect to basically tag it out for your copy of Ultimate Spirit Dragon. We then also lay a single copy of Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. This card is really good to help us bring out our Blue Eyes to our side of the field, and it's just a really powerful 1-of in this deck. We then play a single copy of Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate. Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate helps us OTK our opponent, which is why we play this card as a 1-of. We then play a single copy of Twin Burst. Twin Burst is super easy to make in this build, and it just is really powerful to build out all sorts of different cards because it can attack multiple times, it can be destroyed by battle, and it's a really cool card that if it doesn't even destroy the monster by battle, you can actually banish that opponent's monster, and you can contact views into this card. You don't even have to use polymerization. We then play 2 copies of Tyrant Dragon. Tyrant Dragon is so easy to make in this deck, helps you recover your trap cards out of the graveyard, and is also just an amazing card overall that can attack all of your opponent's monsters, which is absolutely insane. We play a single copy of Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon. This card is really interesting. It has the ability it cannot attack directly unless it has a normal monster's material, basically Blue Eyes, And also, if this card is XZ summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. And also detach a material from this card and then target a normal monster in the graveyard or banishment and special summon it. If you do, it gains 1,000 attack points, which is insane to be able to bring out a 4,000 attack point monster alongside this 4,000 attack point monster to help you go in for game. We made a single copy of Hieratic Seals. Hieratic Seals is great in this deck as a 1-up to basically just go full combo with this card and help you basically bounce cards off the field. And it's super easy to summon out. And then we play 3 copies of Spirit with Eyes of Blue. This card is amazing that we now have a Link 1 for Blue Eyes, and this card has the ability that it cannot special summon. You cannot special summon except for dragon monsters when it's on your side of the field, and you can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. And if this card is Link summoned, you can actually take a Mausoleum of White from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard, which you usually want to add it to your hand with this deck. And also you can trigger this card and then special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand or graveyard. But if you special summon an effect monster, it has its effects negated and it cannot attack, and its effects are completely negated, which is the only downside of this card, but it's still really amazing to basically combo into your copy of Blue Eyes using this card, because your copy of Mausoleum can actually send Blue Eyes to the graveyard, so you can use this card's effect to tag into a copy of Blue Eyes, which is so easy to do. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is amazing to be able to play. If you guys have not picked up the new Blue Eyes structure deck yet, you definitely should, because this deck is an extremely powerful deck and so fun to be able to play. It's such a powerful deck, and it's crazy how easy it is to be able to build an amazing deck straight out of the box with the new Blue Eyes White Destiny structure deck. So that's going to do for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely be on the lookout for the full-fledged build coming very soon to the channel. It might already be on the channel by the time you guys are watching this, so definitely check it out. So that's going to do for this one, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.